If you haven't clocked in, that's fine. What we'll do is at the end of the meeting, you'll basically go downstairs and give your 850 to our office assistant and tell her that you're here at 4 o'clock, and they can put that back in for you. You will also sign in on the sheet here so I can make sure I double check your payroll tomorrow and who was here and who was not, or who was here to get paid. So this is our second bi-weekly meeting. I told the sand volleyball officials they don't need to come because they have tonight and Monday and then they're done. So this is going to be strictly an outdoor soccer and flag football meeting. I've got some swag to give away up here. You'll actually have to earn that this week or for this bi-weekly meeting, and I'll show you how you're going to do that here in just a little bit. So again, our reminder, we send out quizzes. I put the next one will be due next Wednesday. Our schedule will come out Friday morning. So if you don't have your availability up to date for next week, please update it as quickly as you can so I can do that, because I will not update that until Friday morning. Again, here are resources. We'll talk about the weather outside, but if you ever want to check the weather hotline that we have, it's the 910-962 play number, 962 rain number. If we ever cancel, I typically send you an email. Today, it's a drizzle, rain kind of today. We're playing today. Outdoor soccer and flag football. Unless it's a torrential downpour or there's thunder and lightning, we won't play in that. So always look for this. I am out next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you may not get that from me, but you should from Danny or from Ryan or from Jessica that they'll help you out with that. Do Sports Easy, again, we talked about that. We seem to be pretty good this year. Last year it was a colossal struggle. So this year you're all doing fairly well. If for some reason you're like, I haven't worked a shift, you need to come talk to me, because everybody should have at least had one, if not two shifts by now. And if it's either I missed you or you haven't put your availability up to date, or you haven't registered on Do Sports Easy. So our weather. So when you go out there to work, I have no problem if you wear hoodies, you layer up, long sleeves, cold gear, any of that. It's got to be under your stripes. So whatever you wear has to fit underneath your stripes. So if you normally wear a medium, you'll probably go to a large, and so on and so forth. But please be comfortable and please be warm. If you want to wear a hat, the knit hat that you're wearing is fine with me. So please feel free to wear something like that. Don't come out there in a fluorescent orange hat that doesn't fly. But a black, dark blue, a UNCW teal hat, I'm good with those. I want you to be warm. Wear gloves if you so choose. The whistles we give you don't have the P's in them, so they don't freeze. So they should always work. So I want you to be warm. If you have cleats, please bring cleats. You can notice it's starting to get dewy out there earlier. So around your 6:30, 7 o'clock games, 8 o'clock games, it's starting to get dewy. Players are slipping and sliding. I don't want you to slip and slide, so bring cleats. You also will learn how to run differently. So if you normally cut quickly, slow yourself down a little bit, turn around and go the other way. I don't want you to hurt yourself. You think I'm kidding, but that's literally what people have to do in order not to slip and fall. Questions on what you can and cannot wear for anything cold weather related. If you have pants, make sure they're the appropriate pants that we have. If you want to wear tights underneath shorts, that's fine. I'm good with that. Just make sure that we don't have form fitting as our outer layer. So all that's good. Yeah.
For the weather, is there a certain temperature that we don't play in, or?
No, typically, unless it's going to be sustained below freezing, we'll be out there. I grew up in Ohio, and that was snow was the thing in November, December when we played. But here we are mindful of that, and we're mindful that you're not always attuned to it. So typically, if it's going to be sustained below about 45 or 40, that's when we're canceling. But right now, we're going to play as much as we can. That's a good question. All right, my soccer folks, here's your quiz that you had this week. How many seconds does the goalkeeper have to release the ball in soccer? 6 seconds. If they put it to the ground, they cannot pick it back up. If a goalkeeper does not release the ball in the allotted time, is he or she assessed a yellow card? He or she is assessed a yellow card. True or false? What?
It's true.
It's true? Anybody else have anything different?
No.
Does anybody have anything different? Anybody have false? So we assess them a yellow card for not releasing the ball in time?
They get like a verbal warning at first and then they get a card.
So what we would do in this case right here is if they don't release the ball in that 6 seconds, it's just a penalty from there. It's not a card. So it's an indirect from that spot. So if they're sitting 5 feet from the goal and they're just sitting there bouncing it, or they're just holding it, and you deem it 6 seconds has gone by, or I would say 6, 7, or 8, then it's a free kick, an indirect free kick from there. The best way I can tell you to do this, and we haven't seen this much, is keeper, get rid of the ball. Keeper, get rid of the ball. And if they don't, that's when you blow it and give it dead. Yeah?
So in a game that I was officiating earlier on this week, the goalkeeper took off his gloves in the middle of the game, and then he asked for like a few more minutes so that he can put them back on. And then he had the ball. So is that allowed? Like, he took them off, and the next thing he says he wants to put them on again. Like, does he get the time, or continue playing?
If he or she can do it quickly, yes, because it should be strap them on. You should be good. But if they're wanting to delay the game, no, you don't get that time. If they switch goalkeepers, give them the time to either take the jersey off, put the jersey on, and put gloves on, if that's what they so choose. But it shouldn't take more than 15 to 30 seconds. If they're taking a minute, minute and a half to 2 minutes, that's not happening. We're going to play. So if they want to change goalkeepers or try to put his gloves back on, he or she takes them off in the middle of the game, that's their problem. But you don't do anything to stop play. So now if they have a goal kick and he's like, hey, I'm going to put him back on and delay the goal kick, that's when you can hit him with a delay of game and a yellow card. And if it's a 1-0 game or a one score game, stop the clock and be like, now you have all the time in the world. I gave you a yellow card, put the gloves on, I stop the clock. Because they're deliberately trying to delay that game. And that's not what we want. On a penalty kick, which official's on the end line or the touch line? The lead, the trail. How far up should that trail be?
Is that up to like the white bar?
Pretty much up to our 18 box, or it's a 13-yard line, so it should be up a little bit further. Kickoff must go forward. False, it can go any direction. They want to go backwards, they can go backwards. Everybody just has to be on this side of the line. Now, granted, if my team's playing this way and this is a line, I could probably stand here and kick it backwards. I'm not going to penalize this part of it. We're going to let that one go. And correct teams do not need to alternate genders during shootouts. False. It's every other. Now, if my team shoots with 3 females and 2 males, and the other team shoots with 3 males and 2 females, that's fine. Whoever has a greater gender goes first. So, good?
I thought I had a question, but I think I'm good.
What?
I thought I had a question, but I think I'm good.
All right, my flag football people. If each team receives an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty during a play or during a dead ball interval, the fouls will offset. The yardage will offset. So these offset, it's just you still mark them down. So the unsportsmanlike doesn't go away, it's just the yardages won't be counted together. A defensive player may leap to block a kick, provided what doesn't happen? They don't cross that line and cross that yellow puck. A delay game is a blow and throw penalty. Yes. It's part of the field's penalties. It's a blow and throw, you kill it right away. So if the 25 seconds elapse, realistically if you're like 30, 35 seconds elapse, that's when you then go ahead and blow it dead. Defensive players are allowed to enter the neutral zone and return if no snap occurs. That is false. If they jump into that neutral zone, that is an encroachment, that's a field penalty, that's a blow and throw. If a play is closed, a male player may complete a legal forward pass to another male player.
False.
It is a closed play from a male in the previous play, so it's kind of a funky worded question. So if it was a female to female in the previous play, this play could be male to male to open it. So technically false, but that's a poorly worded question. If a female scores a touchdown on a closed play with a pass, with the previous play with a pass from a male player, following a try will be open. Female scores a touchdown on a close play with a pass from a male. The following play will be open.
True.
Why?
It's a male to female completion.
Both genders were involved, right? So we open that play back up. It's absolutely right.
I got some questions.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the 3 is from the X, correct? Is it from the X?
No, it's from 20. It's from,
From the 20.
yeah.
Okay.
So 1 point tries from the 3-yard line. It's the closest line. It's 2 yards wide. So the closest dash line. The 10 is halfway in between. Again, it's a dash line. And then you have the X, which is a 14. That's where we start every drive. And the 3-point try is from the 20. So it goes 3, 10, 20. And then the X is irrelevant on a try.
All right.
So, yeah.
So there's like an illegal contact on a touchdown. Can we assess it on the extra drop, or do they have to decline it to get the touchdown?
So if there's contact on the defense, is what you're saying.
Yes.
They have the option of taking it on the try, or when the other team comes and gets the ball coming out.
Okay.
So if they're like, hey, we want to go for 1, we'll push them back to the 7-yard line when they get the ball. So then they do their normal try for one at the 3-yard line. Or they can go for 3 from the 10, 2 from the 5, 1 for 1.5.
So if it's 3 or 10, you do half the distance, though, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Right. All right. So playoffs for soccer start next week, Thursday, provided it doesn't monsoon over the next 2 days or part of next week. So what we've got to be thinking about as we start these playoffs, and this also goes for flag football, which starts in about 2 weeks, is that emotions will be running higher. And the players are going to be like, I want this t-shirt. I want it so badly I'm going to do whatever I need to do to win this t-shirt. And it'll probably involve getting ejected so their team can win. So we need to know that going into the games. So when these games start to get a little bit more emotionally charged, we need to be more level-headed. And we need to make sure that we stay calm. And that when they go up, we call more fouls. If they're playing well and they know they got fouled, we call it, they're good, they run away and they keep playing, fine. We called what we needed to. But if we get a shove and then somebody comes back at me, we need to make sure that we're aware of that. So when the games go up, we stay as calm as we can be, but we still have sharp, crisp whistles. They're a little bit louder, mechanics are a little bit more, and you hustle a little bit more to get into those positions to make sure you can interject yourself if need to. I left the slide rule in there. I think we're doing a fairly good job about that. We'll see 1 or 2 of them here. We've had several ejections with this, which is good. But the slide rule without contact is within the visual field is an automatic yellow. Any slide with contact or outside the visual field is an automatic red. We need to make sure that we err on the side of a yellow. And I'll show a play where I was like, could have been a red, could have been a yellow. We went with yellow. I'm fine with that. But we need to make sure that they know that they got the card. Be assertive. This is the biggest thing. If you have a soft whistle, poor mechanics, soft voice, they're not going to take you seriously. So what you need to do is make sure you have a louder whistle, a louder voice, and good mechanics. Because boop is not assertive, but a boop, and I give this, or I'm walking into the play and I'm going like this because we have a direct kick. Shows I'm a little bit more, I know what I'm doing. If you're like, well, I'm not really sure if I have a good whistle, I think it's good, as I said in training, just go ahead and take that whistle out in the dorm room and start blowing it and see if you can annoy your neighbors. If you do, that's a good whistle. If you don't, that's a bad whistle. If not, ask the supervisors for some tips if you need some help. Or practice right beforehand. Because I can tell you right now, weak whistles are the easiest things that people are going to run you over with. They're going to be like, well, they don't know what they're doing. We're going to do whatever we want. I can get away with a lot more pushing, a lot more shoving, whatever it is. And they're not going to think you're going to call it. If they don't stop on your whistle, keep blowing that whistle until they stop. And if they still don't stop, then decide who's the culprit and give them a yellow card. We talked about being a good partner last week, or 2 weeks ago. Don't throw your partners under the bus. Pick your partners up when you think they are struggling or you know they're struggling, and you can help them out. I know when I worked basketball, I know when my partner's struggling. The other thing you can do is talk to them. Halftime. You doing all right today? What'd you think about this call right here? What'd you think about this when the players were down? You can have that conversation. It doesn't need to be facilitated by my supervisors. So if you do have that, try to pull each other out of the tank, or we call it the crapper. If you go into the tank, you go into the crapper, your partner's going to be in trouble. Guess what? Your game's going to be in trouble. I get it. You have a test. You may have had a test that day. The school may suck. Boyfriend, girlfriend may have broken up with you. Whatever else happens in your life. I get it. There's a lot of things that happen. Your partner may go into the tank or the crapper. This goes for football too. So if that happens, see if you can help them out. Pull them out. If they start making better calls, they made a good call, and that's the only good call they had all half. And that was a great call on that slide tackle. We had a few others we need to keep working on. There are some people that will be there. Don't forget the steps to handling conflict. These are going to be uber important as we get further and further into playoffs. Because the more cards you give out, the less likely that team's going to move on. Like we said, if you have 2 ejections, 2 conduct ejections in playoffs, that game is over. They cannot get above a 2. If they have 2 slides with red cards, that's not conduct. Unless I go cleats up and I'm trying to break somebody's foot. So remember that when you have those red cards. It's conduct that will put you at a 2. Not necessarily the contact on cards. Flag football. I put this in this week's weekly video. Let your mind digest what your eyes just saw. Last week we showed a video of somebody going like this in soccer and putting the hand back down so they could let that, I think that was in this week's video. That gives them a chance that if you have that flag guard, you're like, nope. It's easier to blow the whistle late than it is too early. Let that player run an extra 15 yards. That's fine. Boop, down right here. They're going to get mad, but that's okay. If you ever watched football on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes there's not even a whistle on the play. They just let the play naturally end. Flag gets pulled, he knows he's down, and you're like, close up. Boop, here we go. That's fine. You can put the same thing into soccer. Ball goes out of bounds. You just point, they pick it up, and they go. You have to have a whistle on any foul that takes place, but it doesn't have to be right away. They may look at you and be like, and you're like, yeah, you're right. Boop. And go from there. So, sharp, quick, crisp whistles and mechanics. This hasn't been too bad. I have seen some video where the officials are out there and just like looking around. It's your time to shine. Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the down. It's your time. Everybody's looking at you. As I always say, when you're doing basketball, the same thing goes for flag football. The more methodical and the better your mechanics look, the less time that you have to actually officiate the game. It takes time away from their playing time. They can't screw it up for you. If you ever call a foul in basketball, it takes between 30 seconds and a minute to report a foul, shoot 2 free throws, and put the ball back in play. You report a penalty in flag football should take you about 45 seconds to a minute to report the penalty and to enforce it. Out of a 20-minute half, you throw 4 penalties. That's 4 to 5 minutes less that you have to actually officiate and call the game. Not saying you shouldn't be sharp during those times, but it just takes the amount of time that you have to focus on one thing. You still have to focus on players, but now you don't have to focus on this. Who's responsible for penalty enforcement?
The ref.
You say the referee.
Or I say everyone.
You say everyone. Now you're flip-flopping on me.
Well, the ref calls it out, but I think everyone is responsible.
Everyone's actually responsible for penalty enforcement. So if we have this, if I mark off a 5-yard penalty and it's supposed to be 10, and you're my field judge and you're like, that doesn't look right, help your boys out, help your crew out. Hey, this should be 10 yards. It was contact, conduct, or participation, so that we can get going with it. Listen to what your partner's saying. If they're out there and they're just counting everything as 5 or their steps are this big, we got a problem. Or they go the wrong way. Help them out. I've had it before. Somebody marches off 10 this way and they're like, yeah, that was the wrong way. Then I got to march back 20 that way. Make sure your partners are marching back 20 that way, not 10. 10-yard penalties, I said contact, conduct, or anything with participation. 5-yard penalties are everything else. What do I mean by stiff the offense?
Hurt them the worst on any.
Hurt them the worst on the penalty. So if I flag guard here and I keep running, I only got to there legally. I got to go from there. We have contact on the line behind the line of scrimmage, penalize them from there. So I'm pushing back. I will give you props and kudos this year for my flag football officials. You are doing really, really well compared to my years past. So keep it up. Soccer, you're doing well as well. You're doing good as well. But the 8 officials I had last year, and Bruce can attest to this, was a little bit more of a struggle than it was with my soccer officials. So I have to give them kudos because they're all doing really, really well. All right, here's my first play that I want you to watch. These are recent plays from this year. Every one of them is from this year. As we watch this replay, so we have here in this corner, I got to remember which order I put these in. So watch down in this corner and let me know if you have a penalty or don't have a penalty on this. I'll try to back it up here so we can see. Now I ain't gonna be able to. Oh, well. All right, my soccer folks, what you got?
The reason I didn't call a penalty on it was because from my angle it looked like he slipped on the ball, and I didn't see any foul.
That's what it looks like.
Tiffany made the call to, I think she did an indirect with that one.
So on this one, would we have a direct or indirect if we call a push?
Pushing is direct, isn't it?
Yeah. The only indirect kicks are your obstruction or if somebody has profanity and they yell at somebody and say, F you. That's not a direct kick after that because it's a caution. So I agree with you on this one. I guess you were on the other side of the field on this one. Because you didn't get you on this one. But it looks like he slips over the ball. Now, I have no problem that she called this. I'd rather have you have more whistles than not enough. What she does a good job of is she blows her whistle and then she goes to the play, which is what we want. That there's a player on the ground, he's probably like, yeah, I got fouled, and the other kid was like, no, you didn't, bro. Well, guess what? You go in there and diffuse that, those two aren't going to argue. I can handle the missed call. I have no problem with you missing calls. If she calls 15 more like this in the game, then I'm going to start to have a problem. But you're going to miss calls. I know you are. So what I like about this play is she actually went to the spot and was like, all right, I need to address this. And she goes up to it. All right, here's flag football. Clearly you were on this play and you had contact on the defense. What I want you to see here is, as we watch this play, what did you have the defender do wrong?
What did I have him?
Yeah.
I just said he ran directly into the ball carrier. Like he didn't go to the flag. He didn't go for the flag first. Like he ran into him. So right there, and then that's what I was doing.
Okay, so you're saying that the ball carrier was coming this way, and he didn't go for he didn't try to
Go for the flag. He just ran into him. Then he.
Who initiates the contact on this play?
I thought it was the defense.
This is why we talk about these plays. This is to make us to get better. So
like he stutters right there. So like I feel like the ball carrier did stutter.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he didn't try to. He made an effort to not hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy ran into him.
Okay. What I see on this play is the defensive player's here. And the defensive player's entitled to this position. Come up for me, real quick. So if he's the offensive player, and I'm right here and he hits me, we know it's going to be on him because he's the one that initiates contact, right? So if he's here, and then he stutters, and then I try to grab the flags, and there's contact, probably don't have much here. I think you were better off just to mark him down. I don't know if he had a complaint. Thank you. I don't know if he's going to complain about contact. If he does, you'd be like, you ran into the defensive player, and he grabbed your flags. Depending, it doesn't matter if he's here trying to grab. So, on this one, I don't know if I'd have thrown a penalty. I see what you're saying in the thought process, but on this play right here, especially because it's towards the goal line, I'm probably going to give him, because he doesn't move forward and he doesn't into the side.
So fourth down, I remember that too.
Now I get it. It factors into it a little bit. I understand that. But you do a good job communicating what you have. You did half the distance. I'm fine with that. Again, like I said, I'm okay with us missing this once or twice and then getting it right. I see what you're saying. I see it a little bit differently.
Okay.
So, all right, back to my soccer folks. So I want you to watch this cat right here. Do you think we put a card on this person? Let it play one more time, and I'll stop it here again. All right, for my soccer folks in the room, how many are you going to card this person? Be honest. Are you going to vote one way or the other? Got one, got two, got three? Who's not? The other people that... All right, so why do you card this person?
Like, they are going like towards them, like you're about to slide, but then it gets past them before they can actually hit the player.
Okay. For those of you who don't have a card, why don't you have a card?
He's not going at any player, so it's not really a dangerous play at all, in my opinion. It's like he's kind of sliding to like nowhere in the field, yeah. He's not going at the person, he was just trying to hit the ball, and he wasn't affecting the play all that much in terms of like hitting another player.
Mm-hmm. Had this player moved a step, had this player gone this way, absolutely a card, 100%, no question. Here, if you don't card him, I'm fine. If it's his first yellow card, I'm fine with the first yellow card. What I don't want is the ejection to be on this. If this is his second yellow card. This tells him he needs to keep his feet. I agree. I think he's trying to slide and stop the ball. It's close. It's in the vicinity. So if you're like I said, he's moving this way, I let this one go. He moves this way, absolutely 100% a card. No questions. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, flag football people. This one's going to show. I'm going to let this one play. It's actually a pretty good offensive play. So I'm fine here. We need to be here. The rule that we have is don't get beat deep. So if you're the back judge, and as you can see when we start this play, the back judge is already deep. The back judge is probably somewhere right in here, which is, call it 30 yards deep. They're already starting deep, deeper than we need to be. So the fact that you get beat deep, so you're starting here, and you only travel, this official only travels 25 yards, when the players are traveling almost 40, if not 50, it can't happen. So what we need to make sure is that we need to be on that goal line. We don't watch that ball. That ball goes in the air, I'm picking up my two players as I'm going deep, and I'm watching them. When I see them starting to converge, I know the ball is going there. I sneak a peek to see where that quarterback threw it. If I'm going back, I'm watching, and all of a sudden they're getting ready to go up. That's where I zero in on. Because those are the two players that are going for the ball, or three players that may be going for the ball. He does a good job. He goes and gets the flags is what we need to do. But you need to get to that goal line, and you need to stop and look, because it's a scoring line. All right, soccer. What I want to show you here, ball goes out. That's great positioning right there. On the line, near the flag, because we're over here near this goal. They're there to see that play. Doesn't argue, picks up and plays. No whistle needed. Simply says blue. Is that you?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. Yeah, those were the nets I was meant to do flags, we got pulled.
Yeah. So right here, we're good. Ball's out of bounds. It's tough to see when you slow it way down. You see that it does go out of bounds. You're in really good position right there. So that's what I want to show you is make sure you're in the correct position that you can be. Good job with the referee communicating on the snap.
Ooh.
So we do a good job communicating on the snap. It's obvious where the penalty is here, but watch what the referee does here. That happens, you throw a flag. He stays with the quarterback, which is what he needs to do. Because I think you're on the line on this one, and you have a. You threw a flag. There's a flag on this play. Trust me. I didn't. If there wasn't a flag, I'd have shown the entire play. I would have got you for a second time. Every once in a while, I'll put when you do something right. Don't you worry. So we're good here. We get the penalty. I wish it's on this side. I wish he'd had the flag too, but that's fine. And he goes with this. We don't see that very often. Some people are like, dang, there's 2 people on the ground, and all of a sudden, quarterback gets hammered over here. He does a good job letting that quarterback go by and watching that. So that's good. I like that play. And yes, you did get this penalty. All right, back to my soccer folks. What I want you to see at the beginning here, and I'm not sure who the other official is on the other side. Oh, they are, let me see if I can back this up. Is it you?
I think so.
All right, so your positioning is right about here, right? And I think you're the lead on this play. Because as I watch more and more of this game, Tiffany was the trail, and I think you were further up. So what I want to show here is the ball is here, and it doesn't matter who the lead on this play is. If you're here and Tiffany's here, we're already behind the 8 ball. So we need to make sure we space this out. So what she needs to do is go either this way or go this way as it comes at her. I get it, it comes at you quickly. You got to get off that line. She takes a step up or a step back, or a couple steps up, couple steps back. She's then out of the way and doesn't get trucked. But in this case, as they go downfield, she's fine. She gives a whistle. Sorry, I didn't have any sound on this. Gets back to the line, whatever. She turns to look, make sure the players aren't doing anything they shouldn't. If she's the lead, she needs to be down here now. If you're the lead, you need to be somewhere down here to see in front of that play. If we're even, we're not correct. We want to box that play in so we have that look. Flag football, the referee and the back judge have the inside out look. The field judge and line judge have the outside in look, so we keep that play boxed in. That's why I said don't get beat deep. You don't want to get beat to the touchline on this one. So we're going to make sure we do that. So what I'm showing you here is how you're working together. Clearly, the player goes down in the backfield. You didn't have a whistle on this, which is what I want. Everything in the backfield, unless it's like right here, you don't touch the line judge. But the referee has this one. And I'm fine with the way you move these pucks. So what you're doing is correct. So that's what I want here. All right, back to my soccer folks. I think I get 2 more plays. So, yellow card is given. So I want your opinion on this. Do you agree it's a slide? I think we're all in agreement that it's a slide.
I think I would have gone with it red considering it was from the back.
All right, so this is what when I saw it, I was like, ooh, we didn't give a red card. But then I thought about what I've been saying. If you're unsure, go with yellow. On this one, he tries to get from the side and he tries to poke it out. So I'm okay with, all right, he gets beat, he's trying to catch up, may get to the side, pokes it away, not much contact, if any. I thought red when I first saw it. Then as I watched it, I'm like, this is the opportunity to give out that yellow card when we can, to make sure that we say, all right, you screwed up, we're going to make sure we keep you into the game, give him the yellow card. Comes out pretty quickly, he knows it's coming, that's a safe distance to give out a yellow card. Bam, yellow card, put it back in the pocket, and away we go. Now, if you're the one that has the sheet, you need to communicate that to each other. Gold 58, yellow card. So everybody knows. So the next time, if you give the card, you know it's going to be a red. Or if you have the card, you communicate with your partner that gold 58 got the yellow. So we kind of remember those. So we know if we need to give out a red. If we forget about it and you wrote it down and then she gives another yellow card to 58 gold, hey, that's a red card, he's been ejected. Or sent off in this case. So we need to communicate that. All right. So they said the play was closed on this. So my question is, if we have a closed play, can we have a running play on this in co-rec?
What?
The play is closed. Can either team run the ball on a closed play? No. So if she does run it, what is the penalty?
Illegal. Okay, so is it like illegal, then it's the gender, and then it's progress?
Illegal advancement. So you're getting where you need to go there. So it's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay the down. The play is still closed. So you just come out, illegal advancement on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the down.
There's illegal male advancement.
It's all now illegal advancement.
Okay.
So any illegal male advancement is illegal advancement on this. So what you tell the offense is they need to throw a pass, and it has to involve whatever gender that wasn't involved in the last one. So maybe in this case, I'm assuming the last one was male to male. You just look at them. A female has to throw or receive the pass. So, what are you counting? 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8. You're good to go. All right. We ain't done yet. Time to give away some goodies. Oopsie.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
It happened yesterday. A guy he ran and he had a foot over the puck, and then he wrapped all the way around, and then he threw the ball, but then he threw it behind the puck. Is that still illegal for a pass, even though he retreated?
Yeah. So you can go as far forward as you want.
Okay.
And then you can go backwards. And as long as you make it behind the line of scrimmage, you can then throw it forward.
I didn't call it because I wasn't sure, but like the other team was trying to grill me for it, and I was just like,
He's like, I don't know.
I made something up at first. I was like, as long as he's behind the puck, he can throw it. I was just confident with it, but I didn't know.
Was it Alpha Sig or was it?
You was repping with me.
Yeah.
It was yesterday. I can't remember which game it was, but it happened.
Well, I'm glad you were confident in it. If you're confident and you don't know, they usually believe you. Be like, yeah, it's the rule. You're allowed to do that. And then you're like, the heck just happened? Don't show that you don't know what you're doing. You just got there, but yeah, that's a legal play. And then make it legal for the rest of the game unless somebody comes and changes it. All right, so for my soccer folks, what you need to go to is, don't worry football, I got the same thing. Go to kahoot.it. If you are a flag football official and you want to join, feel free to go ahead and join. So enter that game pin when you go to kahoot.it. The top 3 people will win something here today. The top person gets their choice of probably the pullover. Second place is going to be shorts. And third place is going to be a whistle. Flag football, you will get the same opportunity. If you work both sports, you get 2 opportunities.
If I get first place, I'm getting the whistle.
I'm telling you, pullovers are pretty sweet. All right. All my soccer people in?
Just give me a second.
Bruce has tried to cheat back there doing soccer. Tori, did you leave the game or what? All right, here we go. Good? All right, so what's going to happen, the question's going to pop up, and on your phone, it's basically going to be between 2 and 4 squares. They're going to be color-coded that match up here. It's like buzz time. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. Whoever gets the most points wins, and you can come up and pick your prize. All right, so here's the first of 5 questions. How long is each half? And it'll pop up here with the number of minutes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, or 20. Each half is 20 minutes. All right. Our leader right now, here's your leaderboard.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jay.
All right. A slide from behind is an automatic red card. This is true or false? I'm glad we're getting this.
Oh, I thought that was.
All right. What is the minimum number of players of each gender in co-rec?
And this counts the goalie, doesn't it?
It counts everybody on the field. The minimum is 2. The max is 5.
I read it as max.
So it's the minimum. All right. Remember on that, it doesn't matter what the goalkeeper is. They can put, if they have 5 males and 2 females and their female wants to be a goalkeeper, by all means, that's what they can do. Or vice versa. A player cannot play the ball back to the goalkeeper with which of the following?
Oh, this. Yeah, okay.
So if they play the ball back with the foot, it's illegal. They head or chest it, they're fine. All right, we got a close race on this one. Here's the last question. A foul, which foul is indirect on this? It's obstruction. Tripping, handball, and pushing are all direct kicks. All right. And the winner is? So Bree, Jude, and then Sid the Kid.
I didn't realize Sid was here.
All right, so Bree, you'll get the choice of whatever you want up here. I have extra, so don't worry about it. If I don't have what you have, you can have whatever you want up here besides whatever she picks. All right, flag football people. All right, so go back to Kahoot.it, and it's going to give you a game pin.
I have a question before we start.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's been some people asking about jumping. Like, did y'all have a rule where people couldn't jump?
Yeah, you can jump. You can't leap somebody. So if somebody's getting down to try to tackle, you can't jump over top of them. But you can dive, you can jump, you can do whatever you want.
Like, so many people have brought it up. I just thought y'all just have a rule about it. Because I was like, there's no way everybody keeps asking about it.
No.
I think it only happens when they exist a flag, though. That's the only time they get mad.
Who put Andy? He's so mean.
Place already.
You're so mean. Anybody else still need to get into this one?
Oh, yell at me.
All right. Here we go.
More stressful than it needs to be.
Not really.
Everyone here's so tired.
How many yard penalty is flag guarding? How many yards? 5, 10, 15, or a spot foul? It's a 10-yard penalty. Contact conduct.
Off to a perfect start again.
Not quite perfect. You're a little slow on the trigger finger. To open a play from a man-to-man pass, what can't happen?
What can't happen?
What can't happen?
It's because it's a female receiver, right?
Yeah, yep. So you can have a female pass or a woman pass, the way the verbiage is, a woman receiver. A male can pass it to a female. So a male runner is the only thing that can't happen in this situation.
I saw the word runner and I was like, that's not right.
That's not right, because we just talked about it. Doing well. All right, this is going to be, a team can decline the yardage to a penalty. True or false? That is true. So if they have first down and 1 or 2 yards to gain, they can say, I just want to I'll decline the penalty or decline the yardage. I want to put it right here. That's fine. So, all right. Apparently Jacob's got 3 in a row. Each half is 20 minutes long. This is true or false?
Oh my God.
Y'all hate me now, don't you?
That's great.
It's true. It just happens to be on the other side of the screen.
That's always happening so fast. Oh my God.
All right, this is the last one there. What is the maximum number of each gender in a correct game? It's 4. The max is 4. All right. So, for soccer, Bree, Jude, and Sid the Kid. Bree, you get a chance. You get the choice of the pullover, or if you want shorts, that's fine. Sorry, Jude, you don't get the pullover. And Sid, you can have a whistle if you want it. And then Jacob, you get a choice of the pullover. Since you won 2, I'll give you the choice of a pullover, and whoever Jake the Snake was. So, all right. That's all I have. Come up here.